Okay.
Well, hello everyone. It's a video about the ProTech made Titanium Button Lock Mordax Maker's Choices.
Easy for you to say.
That's a lot of descriptors in one sentence for a knife. So, if you're not familiar with what Maker's Choice is, it's just what it sounds like. We have to preface every video we ever do of them with, this is something that was pre-orderable when we first launched these, and they have taken some serious time. Because these are a button lock, I really do get a lot of room on the backside to carry over the card work onto the backside. Don't have to miss too many things like a lock bar from a frame lock or anything like that. And boy oh boy did they take me some time. I hand carved these with Dremels and end mills and various other little bits of carbide. And I kind of let my imagination go wild on them. People often point out that they look very Geiger-esque, and that is true. H.R. Geiger is definitely a major influence on me, but I also really like the biomechanical style to begin with, and it works well on knives, and it works well with rotary carving, and so I go with it. Over the years, I've carved quite a bit of titanium, and I think with each successive run, they've gotten better and better and better, with more depth, more detail, and as an artist, I think I've gotten better with my my overall composition of what I'm doing. So like the techniques that I use really haven't changed over the years, but my composition and layout and what I'm trying to achieve has, and I hope it's gotten better. At least I think it has. Kind of my overarching theme for this was industrial space monsters. Christopher likes to feed me lots of ideas, and he actually bought me some really fun books this year for Christmas that were very helpful. And I would say that of all the card work I've done, these definitely fit a little bit more into a real H.R. Geiger theme, because he has a wide range of art that he did, not just like Alien and Predator and all those things that he's kind of known for, but also some of his darker, weirder stuff that came out in sculpture and painting. So here they are in all their majesty.
Well, let's run through them. This one.
Oh, it's real holy. Sorry, I couldn't resist. No, sometimes I like to just drill holes in things and work off of there. I like to play connect the dots. This time, I was staring at the holes that I drilled, and I went, what if I actually raised the lip of the hole, cut down into the tie, and like made it like the surface of the moon with a border. And
That's a moon inlay?
Yeah, moon. Yeah. I really like what Chris did with the color on this one. There's some shiny bits. And then I had to put some speed holes there on the blade, because you need that. It's important. I like that one a lot. I know it's been a good run of Maker's Choice, but I have a really hard time picking a favorite. So I really knew that I wanted to have an open section on one of these, and it seemed like that was the best place to put one, because I just love that look of like a rounded connective thing. That's about as descriptive as it gets. And then this one actually had a couple of re-evaluations of what I was doing with the rest of the sections. And I can't even really describe what I've done there after that. I just went with it. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes I have a great plan and I can stick to a plan, and sometimes things just happen during the carve process and I go, oh, okay, well, that's happening now. And that one actually has a lot of depth in it. It took a while. I mean, they all take a while, but that one was a couple of full days worth of carve. The more that I do carve work wise, the more challenging it is to not repeat myself too much. It's something that I'm always aware of, unless I'm intentionally trying to repeat, because I do that from time to time. This one was definitely very monstery. I love kind of like a back scaled spine look, and I also wanted some holes. Like an undercarriage, an underbelly, if you will. And then you gotta do something to the spines of the blades. A little something, something. The scales on these knives were actually significantly thick, so I had a lot of material to get deep with, and so these have some of the most depth of anything I've carved so far. This one is just real xenomorphic, because I just can't help myself. And like, I've done every little feature that's on that knife. I've done it before. I've just never put it together in the same way as I have on that particular piece. And that one has some really, really deep pieces in it. Like there. Those are real deep. Those are real deep. Yeah, they're more than halfway through the titanium. And this, what I do could be best essentially described as relief carving. And so I have to, anything that I want raised, that means I have to carve everything else around it down in order to make it stand out. And boy, oh boy, do my hands get sore. All right, another very, very xenomorphic layout.
Don't mind that fluff.
Sometimes those towels, they leave the fluff. On a few of these, this one in particular, I left the backspacer actually raised and then actually carved the backspacer into the butt of the knife so that it had some more dimension to it. And while it is a substantial effort and time consumer to do these things, I really do enjoy it. It's my passion. And all of these present some interesting challenges working around the button, and then on the back side where there's actually pocketing for the button. So the places where I just really couldn't go super duper deep. And also I wanted to like make that logo kind of come off on all of them. This one might be my favorite. I like to have texture everywhere. And this is one of the few times where I actually created something that was relatively flat and shiny in the front part of this knife. I generally don't polish things out too much, but it just seemed to work on this one. And that's like a whole set of time just to make titanium rounded and not have marks and texture. It's almost as much time to put texture in as it is to make sure there is no texture.
Probably more.
It's quite an operation. It's quite a blade finish you got on that one, Chris.
Mm-hmm. Yes. So while Elliot went crazy, carving deep, in keeping with theme with the industrial space monster, I decided to move away from a lot of bright coloring into a more subdued palette of blacks, grays, and bronzes primarily, and played more with the texture and the surface finish. So you'll notice there's some parts that are glossy, some that are a bit more matte. I made these a little glossier than we normally do, since these are basically space aliens. Let's see. Now there are a couple pieces that I couldn't help myself and just had to put in just a dash of color in there. Just
don't
a
know
dash.
if the video picks it up really well, but they actually shine that color onto the blade when the blade is closed, and it's pretty fun.
So this one,
So
you
it
can
looks like he's
see,
trying to do that.
yes, I was, almost. Elliot drilled these holes and I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, it's like-
So, you know, straight on, kind of normal. Then we got that blue. So, try to use the colors to greater effect as opposed to just using a lot of colors. So, I have fun with these. Elliot's, your detail in there is incredible, so keeping everything straight was a challenge, to say the least. But here they are. Enjoy, everybody.
For future reference, I mean, because we get asked every single time we post pictures of them. Like, Maker's Choice is a thing that is kind of unique and special, and because they take so long, and they require so much of my hand time, and then they require so much of Chris's time to do all of the different processes that it takes to make them look like that, we try to be quite sparing with when we offer Maker's Choice as an option on things.
I think this one is my favorite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have been asked if there will be Maker's Choice execs, and there will be, but it's when we're ready for it, because it takes up almost a solid month, at least.
At least.
And it wasn't going to do 6, and so we'll probably do 10 at some point in the near future. I got to get ready for it. I got to gear up. All right, everybody. Thanks for looking. Thanks for following us in our various medias. And you should subscribe and like this video.
Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter on the website.
Oh, yes.
That is the place where you will find out when we launch the Maker's Choice execs, or open the spots for those. Sign up for the newsletter.
Wait, should they sign up for the newsletter?
I think you should sign up for the newsletter.
It really is beneficial, because we do announce things with that newsletter. Then we post it on Instagram. Then we adjust the website. There's a whole process.
All right, everybody. Thank you for sitting tight. We appreciate you coming on this journey with us, and hope you enjoyed these knives, and we'll be back soon with more videos.
Bye.